Hey, welcome back to the shop. Today we are going to be doing something simple. Currently we're working on a fuel injection project on my buddy's 64 Fairlane. And along the way he's asked me to take care of a couple of maintenance items, while I'm in here. One of those items is going to be the valve covers. You see, somebody, not my buddy, put them on with the oil fill in the back under these strut tower braces, which makes it really difficult. Also, with the PCV on the front side here and our new throttle body having the port on the back, it'll be better to have this cover on that side so that we can route cleanly to the back of the throttle body. And on this side, we'll have the oil fill out unobstructed in the open. A lot less oil getting spilled down the side of the block. So let's get these bad boys off. This is a pretty simple job, and if this is your first time, take your time. These are small bolts, easy to drop. Not a lot of places for them to get lost, but easy to drop nonetheless. And have some fun with it. We're going to be starting over on the driver's side here. Make sure as you're pulling the bolts up, you get the little wings if yours has them. So you may have noticed the fenders are a little extra shiny. That's because as a fender protection, I like to use plastic. It's easy to put on, easy to take off, and I just tape it in place. Obviously, I don't wear belt buckles, and I try to make sure that I'm safe and clean up against it. Got this nice soft bowl full of jelly here to help protect it as well. And this is my first time using my Father's Day gift, this Milwaukee M12 underhood light. Holy moly! I don't know what took so long for me to get one of these, but man, is this so nice. Have that much light right here where I'm trying to work. I've always just used a little shop light or something like that, and it's never been adequate. This is awesome. Now obviously I'll have a link down in the description if you're looking for one of these, and if you pick one up with that link, it might help me buy a cup of coffee, which would be super cool. Thanks if you do. Mechanic's favorite sound. It's the sound of a bolt hitting the floor. Now, pry gently here, this is just stamped steel. There it is. Cork gasket's doing its job. Oh, damn it. See that sound? My earbud falling down in there? Didn't hit the ground. Not a cool sound. Not cool. Now, because I'm dealing with cast iron cylinder heads here, I have a bit of leeway that I can work with. I can use heavy tools and things like that to scrape this and keep everything clean. If you're using aluminum, you're gonna have to be much more careful not to gall the surface. This steel, you're hard pressed to mess this up. Plus the cork, it's not that hard to get off. You just have to really brush it off. There was a little bit of glue here. Whoever did this last clearly used some glue. Now that we're all clean, we can get this valve cover back on. We'll move over to the other side. What I didn't show was retorquing the headers. It's much easier to get to the header bolts on this specific setup with the valve cover off, and I'm glad that I did because there were 4 out of 8 loose. These headers are very tight and tough to get to, so take this opportunity if you're working on yours. Get in there and double check things. Now we pulled cork gaskets out and we're going back together with rubber gaskets. These gaskets have these wings that sit into the edge of the valve cover to hold them in place when you flip her upside down like this. You still want to be careful that everything stays in place as you're dropping it down, not pinching any of the wires or anything else that's wiggling around here underneath there. just drive her home. Obviously, this is not going to require a significant amount of torque. So I'm going to do this by feel. I'll get it started with my gun there. I'll make sure everybody's lined up. Then I'll come back with my wrench and tighten it down until I can feel the gasket compressing, but not spewing out the side. That's the last thing you want, is to over compress the gasket. So if you wind up doing that, you're gonna have a leak. Nobody wants a leak. Dokily. Boy, from that statement, you'd never know I was an 80s baby that watched The Simpsons.
Oakley dokley.
I'm gonna call the torque spec on these good and tight. Sometimes you have to have some German engineering on an American car, right? Good and tight. All right, we're all cleaned up. Ready to get this side on. I let this gasket sit out in the sun with the valve covered. Make sure it was a little more pliable than the other one. The rubber is nice, but it was also very stiff. So if this is your first time watching the channel, thanks for watching. If you are looking for more content, car related, motorsports related, take a look around the channel. If you think that you like what you see, it'd be awesome if you subscribed. If you want to see more on this project, specifically the 64 Fairlane 500, we're going to be finishing up the injection system here in the next week or so. So come back, take a look, like, subscribe, do your thing. You know what's going on. I'm going to button this bad boy up and move on to the rest of the project. Thanks for watching. We're going to see you in the next one.